Hey everyone, welcome back to a whole new video. Welcome if you're new. If you are new here, my name is Michelle, and in today's video I am going to be doing some non-materialistic ways that you can look put together and how you can just level up. I feel like I've always done videos on how to look put together, and although I am probably still going to film that video because those are videos that people are consistently wanting information on. Those are videos that also do well on my channel, but I felt like it's also important to share some non-physical items that you can actually incorporate into your routine or even just incorporate into your life that can level you up and that can also make you come off as looking put together or looking put together in reality. So let's jump straight into the video. So the first tip that I would definitely recommend is investing in your knowledge. Now, a lot of us are like, okay, we don't need to go back to school. We don't want to go back to school. And I think that that's fine. But I think it's important to invest in your knowledge, whether that be picking up reading as a hobby. It does not need to be a self-help book. Don't let people out here fool you. Sometimes it's nice to sit down and just read a good fictional book. Also, learn a new skill as well. Sometimes you're like, why am I so bored? Maybe you need to pick up learning some new skill. Or if you already have a skill, like let's say you are into doing makeup and stuff like that, then obviously you're going to work consistently on improving that skill. And that is a form of investing in your knowledge, whether it be from YouTube videos or whether you invest in going to a class, like a makeup class or something like that. Developing what you're interested in makes you more confident. It also makes you articulate yourself way better, so you'll be able to explain what you're into in a more articulate way, as they would say, and that actually enhances your appearance. So you definitely want to invest in your knowledge. The next tip that I would recommend, and this is a tip that I think I've spoken about in other videos, but your posture, you must practice good posture. That in itself levels you up in many different ways you would not believe. How something small as posture would actually level or can actually level you up and make you look more put together. How you actually carry yourself speaks volumes, and if no one has ever told you that, I'm going to be the person to tell you that. How you carry yourself speaks volumes, and that's why I know some people may think of it as, oh, she's just so into herself. No, I'm not really into myself, but I should be into myself, right? But no, I'm not into myself. I just personally feel like how you present yourself at first is going to speak volumes about you as an individual. So making sure that you're standing tall, making sure that you're sitting straight, making sure that you are also giving eye contact when someone is speaking to you. I know this can be very intimidating, but it's very important for you to, even if you're not dead looking them in the eyes like that, but at least looking them in the eyes or appearing to like you're looking them in the eyes. So sometimes what I started off doing is I would look the person in their face, but I'm not really looking them in their eyes for the whole time, because of course I want to make sure that the person knows that I am engaged in whatever the person is saying, and I'm listening. But sometimes it can be so intimidating to look someone straight in their eyes when they're consistently talking to you. And so that is definitely a tip that I would recommend when you're out. Start practicing looking people in their eyes, and when you are also speaking, it's important for you to give eye contact. And finally, using open body language can actually make you appear more poised and look together and put together. And a lot of us, we do not have, or we do not know how to utilize, or we aren't using that open body language. We are closed off, and sometimes we wonder why people are not um approaching us or people are not speaking to us, but it's because my body language or your body language is saying to that person, she doesn't want to speak, she's not interested, let me just leave her alone. So that is definitely something that I would recommend. And I think I'm someone who gives off, come and tell me all your business, come and speak to me, because I get that a lot. Like at one point I was like, wait, what am I giving off that people are so comfortable to speak to me and just kind of have conversation with me? And definitely I think it's because I give off a warm, and I am giving that person or people that open body language. Third, why am I tongue tied? The third tip I want to recommend is trying your best to improve your communication skills. Now, I'm still working on, okay? This I am definitely still working on. I find that I used to be the worst communicator. Like, I never knew how to communicate how I was truly feeling. I'm a very straightforward, blunt person, but sometimes, even if I'm like that, it was not always communicated in the best way, in the best manner. And sometimes I even found, like, even if I was straight up, the other person that's receiving it, they never quite understood where I was coming from or what I was saying. So I definitely needed to start working on improving my communication skills. And being able to express yourself clearly and confidently will automatically, when I say automatically, make you look more poised and refined. So it's definitely something that I would recommend if it is that you're not or if it is that that's something that someone may have said to you, or you're getting it over a period of time, or every time you speak to someone they don't understand what you're saying, then you definitely need to work on improving your communication skills. It's not an easy journey though, it's very hard. The next tip that I would recommend as well, which is something that I had to also learn, is how to develop my emotional intelligence. Now, I was blessed with doing an emotional intelligence course, and although I did not agree with everything that the facilitator spoke about, I think it's how he did it. But although I was not in agreement with it, I did agree that we as humans need to be a lot or a little bit more emotionally intelligent. I think a lot of times we're not, and sometimes that's why communication is different. That's why we're always in issues with other people, because we're just not emotionally intelligent. And managing your emotions, handling situations gracefully, and being self-aware is very important, or it helps with that emotional intelligence development process. And practicing self-awareness can contribute to you being overall looking polished. And also I think it's a very attractive attribute, or it gives you an attractive presence. So it's very important. If you never even heard about emotional intelligence, it is a thing, and it's definitely something that I think that all humans, we should learn to develop. The next tip that I want to recommend is prioritizing discipline and consistency. And that is something where I have a love-hate relationship with, because I can be disciplined and consistent, but sometimes it just doesn't always work out that way. But that can definitely breathe looking put together and leveling up as a woman or a man. Looking put together is not just about your appearance, as I've basically been saying in this video. It is also about showing up consistently, whether it's for work, whether it's in your relationship, and whether it's in your friendship. And I think it's a very good trait to have, or a good attribute to have, being disciplined and also being consistent, or being a consistent person. The next tip is being punctual and reliable. Now, the punctual part of it, I will definitely recommend, guys. Especially in the work world, it's very important to be punctual. Let someone else be late. Don't let it be you, unless it's like an urgent situation or a dire situation. And being on time and keeping your commitment shows that you're a responsible person and you're in control of your time. You are basically in control. Being reliable is also important. I think it's important for you to be a reliable colleague. I also think it's important for you to be a reliable friend, because you also you rely on people too. And so if it is that you want that, I think that you should do that as well. Don't be the person who no one can rely on, but you expect to rely on everybody else. Like, doesn't work like that. And again, being punctual, that's definitely something that I need to work on in my personal life, because trust me, I'll have my friends waiting for me for 20 minutes and that is unacceptable. The next tip that I would recommend as well is building financial literacy. And I know a lot of people are on social media now talking about finances, talking about saving, and I think we're just in that trend, which I think it's a good trend to a good trend that we now have. But I also know that people are very uncomfortable in speaking about being financially literate. And I know a lot of times we make a bad, and I'm saying we because I'm also included in those numbers of people, we make bad financial decisions, or we don't stick to our budget. So I think it's important for us to sit down and just understand how to budget, the right way to budget, how to save, how we can invest, whether it be 5 years down the line because we aren't able to do what we really want to do within a year span. um or if it is that we want to invest in property, if it is that we want to invest in our education and just stuff like that. I think it's very important to not be fearful of learning more about your financials and how you can manage your financials, and just understanding how to budget and how to actually stick to a budget based off of your shopping habits, or just any bad, whether it be gambling habits or just whatever bad habits that you have that keeps you in a bad financial position. I think it's important to learn on how to budget and grow your finances. Next tip that I want to recommend is making sure that you develop a calm and collected demeanor. And I'm gonna say this because I've realized over the years that if I find myself in a difficult situation, being calm and collected gets me what I actually want and even more, rather than being overly aggressive or just being rude. Now, sometimes it is called for you to put someone in their place, okay, and let them know, hey, I'm not to be played with. But I also found that being calm and collected and making sure that I express myself in an articulated but stern way has done wonders to me, and it gets me what I want. And so I would definitely recommend that you learn to stay composed in stressful situations. That is going to allow you to come to a solution quicker, and try your best to avoid unnecessary drama. Sometimes we get ourselves in drama that we don't necessarily need to be in, and it's very important for us to look to avoid those types of situations. And finally, when you speak with a measured tone, it really helps you to exude confidence and grace. And so, like I said, like, you genuinely will get exactly what you want. It doesn't happen with all situations, but I definitely would recommend that that's something that you're able to um, read the room in a way to see when you need to be like really aggressive and when you need to be calm and collected. But I would definitely recommend, if you're someone that's always like that you learn to have a calm and collected demeanor when dealing with situations. The next thing that I want to recommend is, when you are looking to look put together or level up, it's very important to have a positive mindset, or I should say cultivate a positive oriented mindset. And this definitely will help you in the long run. It will definitely help you in certain situations as well. Your mindset actually influences how you carry yourself, and I think it's important to have that positive mindset. It comes off of you, it radiates off of you. People feel that positive vibe and that positive energy when they meet you. Now, everybody is not going to like you, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you are going to have your people, and it's just very important for you to always think positive, not only about people, although the world is crazy, but it's also important for you to think positive about yourself and the people that you have around you and the things that you're doing in your life. The final tip that I want to recommend is make sure that you set and maintain personal standards, which I find a lot of people do not have in 2025. Having boundaries, self-discipline, and clear personal values will make you stand out. Okay? People respect and admire people who know their worth. Okay? So if you're out here and you are acting like, everything can come, and you're falling for every little thing, definitely would not recommend that. If you're someone that you currently do not have any boundaries, you don't have any standard, then I would recommend that you work on setting some and actually maintaining those standards. Simple standard: someone asks you for something that you genuinely do not want to take part in, be like, no. I know no is hard to tell people, but sometimes it's your standard. I am not going to partake in these activities. I'm not interested to partake in these activities. And if people are good to, if these people are your people, they'll understand. And just like work, if you have a colleague who is always asking, can I get help with this, can I get help with that, be like, no. Stick and maintain it. Don't let the next time they ask for you to be like, okay, no, I'm gonna give and take, because people will test you, and people test you time and time again to see how far they can push you to go over your standard, or to not maintain that boundary that you want to have. So as my final tip before I leave, I would definitely recommend that you maintain and set your standards, and maintain those standards. And I really do hope that these tips were very helpful. I really wanted to give you something that you could work with, and I think that this is a good base and a good way to not spend any sort of money if you want to look put together. I think that these are things that you can work on slowly. Looking put together, leveling up journey is not as easy as people make it seem. It does take a lot of time, and it takes a lot of years. And as you grow and evolve, your journey is going to change. Sometimes you may have setbacks, and that's quite fine as well. But I think it was very important for me to do this video, because people are always asking how to look put together, and I just found that, listen, looking put together is not just about your outfits. Looking put together is not about an aesthetic that everybody is pushing, or making sure that your nails are done. Like, obviously those things are gonna aid you into looking put together, but there's those non-physical items that you do not need to go out and buy, that you can actually have a lot of different resources out there that can help you to actually develop yourself, and develop your character, and develop you into being the person that you want to be. So I just thought that this video would be helpful. I'm sorry for the long yap, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed this particular video, and let me know in the comments some other ways that you think that my subscribers, or even me, can non-materialistically look more put together. And if it is that you agree with some of these tips and you want to elaborate on it, I would definitely recommend that you comment in the comment section below. And thank you guys so much for watching. And if you're new here and you made it to the end of this video, please subscribe to my channel. It really will help me out a lot. It will help my channel grow, and I'll talk to you guys in my next upload.